Kim,
Have
let
you
me
got
know
a-
when you see us live.
Okay.
You got a Marshall MXL, haven't you, Greg?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I originally got that, I saw the little bungee cords, and I'm like, well, am I supposed to take those off or what? So I did at first, and then I'm like, no, wait.
I've got the Discord notification restream. Yep.
Cool.
We are live.
Yep.
All right. I'm assuming the music will be a little bit louder than me or Tom.
It is.
Oh, you got Gordy on as well?
Yeah.
Oh, giving it away, Mum. This is not Mark. This is a robot.
I suppose we can start. Anybody else?
Yeah, I already sent out a tweet that we were going to be live in, well, now.
On
So,
time.
you gotta, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly? I think we're just getting started. Medic! I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey, everybody. You are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast live December 31st, 2023. This is episode 765. My name is Greg DeLacy, gamertag OC_Murphy's Law on formerly known as Twitter. And you're hearing me live from the West Wing. We'll get into that in a little bit. Also on the show today, we have Miss Kim Woods.
Yeah, that's me. Howdy, howdy. I am live from the Hermit Cave.
The Hermit Cave, I love it.
you know.
Yes.
Yep.
And making his triumphant return, the king of headphones, Tin Cup himself, Mark Wright, on the show.
Hello, everyone. First time listener. No, first time listener, first time caller. I knew I'd get that wrong. What a noob. Yeah, I'm back, finally.
It's good to have you back. It's been a while.
Indeed.
It's been a hot minute.
Mm. Yeah,
Well,
it's been
good to
a while.
have you back, Mark. Sadly, Robin Tate was caught fiddling with himself in public. He is currently being detained by the Northern Irish Police Department. Irish or Irish? That was what I think I said.
I thought it was Eilish for a minute. So I
Eilish.
thought maybe Billie Eilish got a hold of
Billy
him. or something.
Irish Police Department. Yes. Anyway, Robin not on the show. Also, somewhere in the canals of England, Pete Chin currently sailing somewhere or sinking. We're not sure, but not on the show. That's okay. We've got Mark back. That's all that matters. And hey, if you're new to the show, we do this every Sunday, 9 p.m. in the UK, 1 p.m. in the West Coast, because it's the only coast that matters. 4 p.m. in the East Coast, 3 p.m. on the Central Time Zone, where Kim loves to hang out. And we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, so come check us out live. And if you don't want to, you prefer to listen to us as you're grooving to the oldies, getting your yoga on, like Mark does often, you can listen to the audio version of the podcast that we'll post up, typically speaking, the next day. I think that about covers the important things, other than subscribe, like us, do all the stuff the kids do on the YouTubes and the Twitch. I love saying that because it just makes me sound even that much older.
Yeah.
All right. We have one birthday shout out because I don't think we got the shout out off last week, but that is to Mr. Richard Webster, who turned 21. Every year he's 21. He never gets old.
He never looks
He's
any
like
older, does he?
Benjamin
Yeah.
Button or something. I
Yeah,
swear.
yeah.
I think he is Benjamin Button. That's good. I like it. Anyway, his birthday was on December 24th. Rich, happy birthday. Do I have a happy birthday song for you? I don't know if I do, Rich. I think I deleted my happy birthday song.
Gasp.
I know.
Sing it, Greg. Sing it live.
I know. So instead, Rich, you'll get this. You'll appreciate this, Rich.
Leroy Jenkins!
All right. Leroy Jenkins for the win. Okay, here we go. We're going to dive into some story time because we've got some story time to talk about.
Everyone here loves story time, our favorite time of the day.
Okay, so I will get my story time out of the way up front. It has been a rough few weeks. We of course we were moving into our new house, and hence why I'm saying I'm coming live from the West Wing. That's affectionately what we call where my office now sits, because my office and one of the spare bedrooms is on kind of its own separate wing of the house. So we just affectionately call it now the West Wing. But unfortunately, my dad passed away just after Christmas. It hits me in waves. So right now, I'm task focused, so I can kind of get through everything. But that really just threw a huge curveball wrench into everything going on. So we were moving and dealing with a lot of family emotion. But anyway, so I don't have a whole heck of a lot to talk about in terms of story times and things that are very positive. So I'm going to leave that to the two of you to talk about. But importantly on my end, my dad passed peacefully. He was in a lot of pain kind of leading up to it. So I'm glad he passed when he did. I didn't want it to carry on. It was not the way you want to live. And so now, we're just kind of picking up the pieces and moving forward with my mom and making sure that she's, taken care of and supported and knows that, she's not alone. And then, new house. And then the new house, that's been a blessing in disguise, because as much as I hate moving, and I do hate moving, it's helped distract me. We've had to do certain things. We had to, get boxes out of storage, which was the final thing we did. That was the final part of our move. That all happened yesterday. So officially, no more moving boxes. Now it's just a matter of emptying things out of boxes, which there's plenty of boxes behind me, as you can see. And then just kind of getting things dialed in and kind of retooled and reset up. So that's me. I will transition this now to a more positive, happy conversation. Kim, what's been going on your end?
Well, I just want to ask first, how's your head after you cracked it open on the crack there?
The scab's all gone. It was right here. I had a nice gash, but it is thankfully gone. Even the scab now has kind of fallen off. I was like, it's starting to itch it because it was getting itchy, and then it was like just coming off. But yeah, I survived. No concussion, just a lot of blood. And for those that don't know,
it looked really bad on the towel there, like maybe you'd hacked the hand off or something.
Oh, well, okay. So I do have one story to tell. And I'm trying to remember if I covered this in the last podcast or not, but in the process of moving, we have this, I call it the death van. It's a cargo van that was on loan to us from one of my wife's clients, and fantastic of her to have loaned it to us. Because she basically said, hey, use it all the way through the holidays. You don't have to get it back to me. I don't need it anytime soon. And so we literally just moved our entire house through this cargo van, and the help of our friend Tom. He did come. He has a big 32-foot trailer. He does hauling for a living. And so we loaded up like our refrigerator and washer and dryer and stuff like that onto the trailer. So we got that moved, but all the other stuff, all the boxes, all the individual things, all done through this cargo van. But one day I was by myself at the old house loading some stuff in, and I'm picking up, and this is kind of, I don't even know what the right word to say on this. There's irony to this, I guess. Maybe that's the best way to put it. I was picking up the killer clown that we have for Halloween. And it's all in this box. And so, of course, it says Killer Clown on the side of it. I'm picking it up, and I'm going to try and put it into the side of the van. But I was trying to throw it basically to the backside of some boxes. And for whatever reason, I couldn't get the leverage. And so I stepped up into the van. And as I was stepping up into the van, I'm lifting up with my arms, which just naturally made my body go up.
Yep.
And of course, my head just cut right into the side door of the lip of the van opening. And I come down and I just immediately I'm grabbing the top of my head and I'm like, I was,
Yep.
obviously pissed off, but I'm feeling it. And it's, it's hot and it's warm and it hurts. And then I'm like, that feels wet. And so then I go back into our garage because we had a big full length mirror in the old garage. And I look and blood just streaming down my face. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I may have to go to the hospital right now. This set some panic in. So I immediately grabbed one of our, we still had, thankfully, our old refrigerator that was in the garage. And we also had all of our clean rag towels. So they had all been washed. So I grabbed one of those and I immediately put it on my head. And it's just still bleeding and it's just soaking up the blood. Now I'm starting to think, okay, maybe I do have to go to the hospital. But I thought smartly and I went into the freezer section of our refrigerator and we had some ice packs in there. And so I just grabbed one of the biggest ice packs I could find and just threw it on the top of my forehead. And so that helped stop the bleeding. And I was just basically rotating between this ice pack, the towel, ice pack, towel. The whole time, by the way, I was trying to talk to our solar company because we were having problems with them and the selling of our house.
Right.
So I'm trying to talk on the phone, putting an ice pack, and driving. Because at this point, I decided I was done packing. So I closed everything up and I said, screw this, I'm leaving. And I was trying to figure out if I was going to have to go to the hospital or not. But I didn't want to get off the line with these guys because I had been on hold forever with them. And multiple previous days had just kind of gone in a circle jerk with them. So was I breaking laws driving this way? Absolutely. Was it comical to see me driving this way? Absolutely. I wish I had somebody videotaping this all because it would have made for a very funny skit. But that pretty much sums it up. And no hospital visit.
It's amazing how many blood vessels you've got under your skin, on your scalp, and your head does bleed like shit. Because that scar there, I whacked it with a massive bar when I was doing a leaf spring once, and that just like spurted everywhere, and I was throwing up, and I was feeling the amount of blood, it just pools and pools of blood. You can't believe how much blood is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think my saving grace, honestly,
it's quite scary, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah. It was a bit freaky seeing that much blood, and also just looking in the mirror and seeing blood streaming down my face. That was because it was a thick old line. It wasn't just a little line, but I think my saving grace truly was the fact that I had the ice pack and I was able to immediately put it on there because that helped basically retract and coagulate the blood in that area.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I for sure would have had to go to the hospital. It was not going to stop.
Right.
Anyway. Well, now, Kim, back to you.
Yes. Well, I definitely wouldn't advise beheading yourself to get out of moving. That just doesn't work.
No. And the worst part is it did not get me out of moving at all, other than in that moment. I did stop at that point, but then I still had to move later on. Yeah.
Oh, the fun of it all. Never a dull moment around Tank Top's house,
No.
let me tell you. Alrighty, on to me. Christmas was fine. I mean, Anthony got his wheel that I've been hiding from him since August. He was, I think he was pleasantly surprised, which is good considering I think the day before I kind of let it slip, but he didn't notice. So
Okay.
that was good. Like I said, everybody did well. Dad got his work shirts that he's been bragging about for months, and everybody had a good time. I mean, I got my Steam Deck because we decided we weren't the older kids, so everyone to say it, the adults wasn't going to exchange gifts, but maybe me, I did buy people gloves and like lip balm and stuff like that fit in their stocking because everybody needs gloves in the wintertime. So, I did that. Right. I wasn't really expecting anything back. And of course, I didn't, but that's all right. I had my Steam Deck and other stuff. So Christmas was good. We didn't try to, cut open our heads or anything like that. So nothing like that.
You're missing out.
The cats, the cats had other, ideas though. I had more vet visits this month than I think I've had all year because I had to take Zelda to the vet. Not last Friday, but the Friday before Christmas, which was kind of interesting considering my vet was going to be closed on Saturday because of Christmas, and they weren't going to be open again until Tuesday after Christmas. So I had to hurry up and run her down to the vet on Friday, only to find out she's probably ate something she shouldn't have and had an upset stomach. So they gave her some fluids and told me to give her some probiotics and she should be good. They were right. And then last Friday, of course, right before New Year's, I had another cat get sick. He was passing blood. And, oh, yeah. So, of course, they weren't going to be open Saturday and weren't going to be open again till Tuesday. So I had to hurry up and make a mad dash down there Friday to get him looked at. But he's fine. He's got some antibiotics, and the vet run a urinalysis to make sure there was no, like, kidney stones or crystals or anything like that. There was none of that. He says just give him some antibiotics for 2 weeks, and he should be fine. So, we didn't have any human problems, but pet problems out the galore. So there you go. Other non-pet, related items, they're having a Steam sale. Okay. I bet y'all didn't know that. And of course, it's a conspiracy because they're having a Steam sale just as soon as I got my Steam Deck. So what do?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I bought, let's see, I got a list here of how many games I bought. And it's almost, well, I won't say sickening because I'm sure there's people out there that bought way more than I have so far. But for me, it's interesting. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've bought at least 12 games so far.
Game Pass is going to be busy soon, Greg.
Yeah. You know what? There is so much to play out there. It's
ridiculous.
And I suppose we can now thank you, Kim, for not only Xbox Game Pass games and
right.
sales there, but also now Steam. So
right, yeah. So I bought. Tony's been bugging me for American Truck Simulator for ages. And I wouldn't buy it because all I had at the time was my laptop. So I got Steam Deck. So it was $5. So I bought that. I bought Oxenfree 2 because apparently it's not coming to Xbox. It's on PlayStation, but
right.
Whatever. So I bought it because it was on sale like $10. I bought Stray again because it's fucking Stray. Why not?
Yeah, you like it.
Yeah.
Speaking of your cats, by the way, Kim.
Right.
Any issues with the cat hotel? How's that?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I mean, the cats use it, and then so far I haven't caught any raccoons in it.
Okay.
I'm not saying they haven't been, but I haven't caught. Although I did have a couple more kittens disappear, so whatever is picking off my kittens is not hibernating this winter apparently.
Okay.
So there is that, but I mean, otherwise, so far so good. I'm actually talking to Dad, and we may get a couple more before next winter and put them up in a couple other spots. Because I have this one stupid cat, and I swear to God, I love her to death, but I think she's mental. She will sleep out under, like, we have 2 places we feed him, and this one place we feed him, there's no like roof or anything, and she will sleep out in the yard in the rain, and won't get under anything. She just lays out there and gets wet, and I'm like,
I think you should take the cat houses, create like a horseshoe with them, then create a little sandy beach with a pool in the middle, and create a cat resort.
Although obviously you've not been around cats too long, because that they're going to turn that sand into a litter box like that. And it's going to be awful. So I don't know about that, but yeah. So maybe next year before fall or before winter hits again, maybe I'll get a couple others to put on the other side of the house. So, the stupid ones like this one, she will actually maybe go into it instead of laying out in the yard and getting rained on and just laying there and looking at me going, yeah, it's fine.
She likes the rain.
Apparently. So anyway, I got Dishonored again because, well, that was actually part of a Fanatical bundle where you could buy 3 games. You can get them for like $5. So I got Black Sad, Dishonored, and The Dark Side Detective. And they threw in Doom 2 for like $1. So I can complete with that.
There you go.
Right.
Doom 2. Yeah.
Right. I've never actually played a Doom game completely all the way through. So this might be my,
I as I think back on the Doom games,
right?
Honestly, Doom 1 and Doom 2, I could do without.
Right.
I mean, they were, granted, I get their importance in the history of gaming, but from a retro play perspective, I just don't have a desire.
Gotcha.
Doom 3, if I recall correctly, that was the one that hit the Xbox One, or the original Xbox.
Right.
And that was the one that kind of took it to a horror sci-fi third person, or it was still first person, but the visuals got a real massive upgrade compared to the cartoony kind of visuals it had before.
Right. Because I remember Doom on the SNES, and it was real, pixelated, and my brothers played a whole lot of Doom back in the day, so I remember it from that, but I never actually got into it. I don't know. I thought at the time, I think I felt I was a little above Doom, but now I don't care because, well, you've seen what else I play, so how can Doom be any worse? I mean, I'm out here with The Witcher 3, you know, cutting people's arms
Kim,
off.
We are proud of you. You have graduated from Gems of War.
Right? Slowly but surely I got there. And speaking of games, I actually won a game. I won Warhammer Age of Sigmar Realms of Ruin, the Ultimate Edition, off of Twitter. There was a guy on there. He's a GameSpot editor that I follow, Mark Delaney, and he was doing a giveaway, and I won. So yeah,
awesome.
Can't complain about that. So anyway, that's all my Steam games or sales. You might know what I'm talking about. I don't know about Mark, but you know Woot. You know, they're offshoot Amazon. Every once in a while they sell boxes. Well, they call them boxes of crap. And basically what it is, it's like $10 and they just throw a bunch of random stuff in a box. And you never know what you're going to get, but they're usually guaranteed to get one or two good things out of it, right?
Here's a question. So just prior to you going into that, are you able to kind of theme it like these are my interests? Or is it literally just anything and everything could be in there?
Yeah, pretty much that. And they give them weird names. Yeah, they give them weird names. Like the one I bought was Blitzen bought a bag of carrots or something like that. So you know when something strange like that pops up, that's usually what it is a box of crap. So I've never bought one before, and apparently they're pretty hard to get. So I thought, well, I'll give it a try, and I got one.
Okay.
And you know, like I said, I paid $10 with taxes and shipping, and I may not have paid shipping, but anyway, it come up to $10, and I thought, well, we'll see what I get. I don't think I did too bad because I got Hogwarts Legacy for the Switch.
That's worth more than $10 just for that, isn't it?
There you go.
You'll get your money back there.
There was that, and then there was, which I thought was funny because my cats and everything. I got one of those freaking cat backpacks.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Now this thing is not very big, so none of my the kittens might fit, but none of my other
40 cats in there, Kim.
I will never get any. And besides, I'm looking at it and I go, none of my cats.
I'm just waiting for somebody to take one of those and put their small child in it.
Right? And I don't know. I got a couple of pairs of slacks.
Send it over to Mike.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that baby Rosa?
Yeah, try this out. See how it works. I mean, it does have air holes, so I mean, maybe, you know.
Just
but
saying.
yeah, none of my cats will fit in that because it was funny. We were at the vet with the cat the other day, and Anthony, they've got a chart with how big your cat is and whether it's overweight or underweight,
Right.
whatever. And Anthony's pointing him out, going, "Well, okay, there's Mittens, he's fat. There's Thomas, he's also fat. There's Panda, he's overweight." I'm like, "Are you trying to tell me I overfeed the cats?" I'm like, "No, I'm just saying, you know, all your cats are fat."
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah, there was a little innuendo there, Kim.
Right. So anyway, that was in my my box of crap. And like I said, I got this. It's not opened. It's brand new. You know, that's a $60 game right there. My only problem is it's Hogwarts. I don't necessarily do Harry Potter, so I don't know if I'm going to keep it or if I'm going to sell it or.
It's a good game. Yeah.
I got it, so I may keep it and just give it a shot. Who knows? I may like it. But anyway, more crap. I got, like I said, I got Steam Deck, and Hardly Dan had mentioned D-Brand as a case. So I got to looking, and the more I got to looking, $94 later, I have a case coming for it. I have the little slidey thing that goes on the front of it, so I don't have to pack it around in the big, you know, valve case that they send with it, because that thing is huge. And I got a skin for it, and I got the tempered glass screen cover for it. So I got more crap.
I might have to ask you what the slidey thing on the front of that is, because that could be beneficial for long term. Because I typically do have mine in the big case.
Right.
But I bought a separate case, so I ditched the Steam case.
Right.
Because I wanted some storage for other things like the power cord.
Right. Yeah, because that one, like the big case, believe it or not, for as huge as it is, there's no where to store the charger for it. So
yeah, they have that little elastic band on the back of it, which I'm like, are they insinuating you're going to tuck it back there? That's dumb.
That's where mine's at right now, but then mine doesn't go anywhere but my house. So, you know, obviously, but yeah, I will let you know. Cause like I said, I got the whole works. Like I said, I think it come down like $94 altogether. I even got the little thumbstick deals to make the little thumbsticks bigger. So because they sold it all in a kit. And I couldn't figure out how to separate it because all I really wanted was the case and the little thing that slides on the front to protect the screen.
Right.
Well, I couldn't figure out how to do all that, so I went for the big enchilada, and $94 later,
you got the
it's
big
coming
enchilada.
from Canada. Yeah, it's coming from Canada, so it ought to be here in a couple of weeks. So anyway, now that I've bored you all with all the shit that I bought and cats and everything else,
that's
we'll go
the
to Mark.
purpose of story time. To bore us with all the shit you bought. Mark. What shit have you bought that you want to bore us with?
Well, 2 weeks before Christmas, me and my wife Jenny both came down with COVID.
Oh shit.
And we got it really bad. Like I had it back in 2020, and it wasn't too bad. I was in bed a little bit, but not too bad. But yeah, this 2 weeks ago we were both bedridden for a full week, proper fucking laid up. It's the first time I've been off work for 3.5 years. So that's how bad it was. My boss were really good about it though. Told me just stay off and get well. So I've been back at work week before Christmas, all through Christmas. We've still been coughing a lot. We've still got a bit of a bad chest, but yeah, slowly getting there. But yeah, the week before Christmas, I got a nice delivery. I'd managed to persuade Jenny to let me buy myself a Christmas treat. I haven't had one for a long time, and it was overdue. I got a new PC.
Nice.
So my old PC was really old. I did upgrade it with some secondhand parts I got from Amar, one of the Veteran Gamers listeners, 3 years ago to try keep it sort of like fairly relevant. But yeah, it was getting a bit long in the tooth, and it wouldn't run certain things. And one of the games I do want to play so much with my son and some of the SEAL guys is Hunt Showdown. It's so good, and it's good on PC. But it kept crashing on my old PC, so I haven't played it for a year.
No.
But yeah, now I've got the new PC. It runs like a dream, and I've been playing a lot of Hunt again.
We're gonna have to check out, not to delve into games, but the finals. That's available on consoles and PC.
Snookens was telling me it's really good, but it's fast paced.
It's fast paced, but it's interesting. You'll I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, anyway. So I got my new PC. I ordered a new monitor for it as well because my original monitors were only like standard 60 hertz. So I've got a new 1440p 244 hertz monitor. And I got a new stand with the 3 arms. So I've got 3 monitors all surrounding me now, which is really cool setup. The Mac's gone now, so there's no Mac sound effects, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to find another way of doing sound effects for Robin's potato. And yeah, Christmas happened. We had a fairly quietish Christmas day. My mum came up for dinner. We had a nice Christmas dinner. Boxing Day was mayhem. Jay and the kids came down. So it was me, Jenny, my mum. My 2 nephews came up from Derby, and one of my nephew's girlfriends. And there was Jay and Sam and 6 kids.
So I hear Boxing Day, and then it was mayhem, and everybody, and all I'm thinking in my head is everybody just putting on boxing gloves and just going to town, you know.
No, apparently originally, back in Victorian times, the rich people would give the boxes of like crap they didn't want to the servants, and that's why the day after Christmas. And I think that's why it was called Boxing Day. You guys don't call it that, but yeah. So yeah, the 26th of December, yeah, we all came up. We had a good time. My nephew and his girlfriend went home Friday night, but my other nephew, the army one, Liam, he's still here. I'm taking him home this Saturday. So he's here for New Year's dinner tomorrow. Got all the family coming again New Year's Day tomorrow.
Nice.
So it's going to be another household full. So yeah, it's been jam-packed, gone really quick, too quick. 10 days off work, gone just like that. I'm back at work Tuesday.
Well, good. Family is important. Love to hear. By the way, shout out to your son, Jay. He sent me a nice message.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Boomer.
I hope you don't mind. I told Gary as well.
No. He said not a problem at all.
He said he texted you about some football, and I said, right. There's a reason he hadn't replied to that, Gary. And he said he'd message you. So
yeah, no, I got that message from him and from Jay, and very appreciated. And you know, it's not a secret, so I don't mind at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, Boomer, I believe has a new Series X. Is that what I'm seeing? So he's a happy camper. Merry Christmas to Boomer. I think we're. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? This is what I wanted to do. Before we move on, you know, Robin couldn't make the show. He was supposed to be on the show, but you know, alas, you know, he had other plans that he just didn't inform us about. So,
read that message.
As I said, you know, hey, Robin, are you going to be on the show? He then replied with this. And if I could do a good Irish accent right now, I would. Equally so, I could do a Mexican accent that would be totally offensive. accurate to Robin in some respects because he's offensive as well. But I'm not going to do either one. I'll just read it. Shucks, heading to the in-laws. I predict a riot, front-loading because they probably won't offer me a drink. Let me just say, my life is richer because of knowing you. I think about you all at some stage every day. Be happy that I take turns concentrating on one at a time in the shower each morning. We've been through so much together and we're stronger for it. So happy New Year to you beautiful cunts. And let's hope that 2024 has more of the highs and less of the lows. Proud to have you as friends. Mark aside. See you next year. XO blow. So we got a blow job out of Robin after all.
Woo! Well,
I mean, you know what? That's all I was looking for in Vegas, for the record. And you know, he's a bit of a prude when it comes to that kind of thing. I'm like, come on, Robin. I mean, no one's looking.
It surprises me.
Nothing.
He talks a big game.
I know. Mark, footnote. I do love you, Mark. I think I don't show it enough. I want to have your babies. So apparently he will put out in the right scenario. I'm just no good anymore.
You've been replaced.
All right. I will be okay. All right, let's move on. Let's talk some video games.
Today I feel like playing computer games. Today I feel like playing computer games.
Now, before we get into what we have been playing, which the list is quite short for me, Kim.
Yes.
We often proudly proclaim all about these free games that we get because we pay for subscriptions to get free games.
Right.
So let's talk about what we know for January for the games that we get for free because we pay for our subscriptions.
Okay. Well, your free games for the PlayStation Plus for January are A Plague Tale Requiem, Evil West, which is I already bought for the Xbox, so whatever.
Thank you,
Nobody
Kim.
Saves the World. Yeah, you're welcome. And then for your Amazon Prime games for January, we have Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order,
That's
Total
score.
War Warhammer, World War Z Aftermath, a Phil Olsen game, which is 2 Point Hospital, WRC7 FIA World Rally Championship. So many freaking abbreviations.
Oh, Pete Chin's game.
Honestly. Yeah, right. Abandoned Ship.
No, that's
And
Pete
these
Chin. That's Pete's game. Abandoned Ship.
Right. Oh, all right, good. Yeah, and believe it or not, these are two different games. I thought for a minute they went together, but we have Abandoned Ship and In Other Waters. They're two different games, so
Perfect.
go figure. Paper Beast Folded Edition and Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy Remastered. So there you go. There's those. And I think on the Epic Store this week or for the next 2 weeks, whatever it is, it's Ghost Runner, the first one.
Yeah, have they gone back to weekly now? Because we were doing daily ones over Christmas.
Right.
There's
I
been
don't
some
know if they
good
are
ones
not,
as well.
but
Yeah.
I think Ghost Runner is the one that's out now anyway. So
Yeah.
that's your thing. Go pick her up. So there's your free games for the month.
Awesome. All right. Well, I have literally played nothing. Here's the saddest statement I can make. And again, due to circumstances, I was able to get our TV and internet hooked up pretty much day one of the movie.
Priorities.
The TV was on the floor because the TV is now mounted on the wall, but it stayed on the floor for up until last weekend. I did not hook the Xbox up until 2 days ago. And that just because part of it is because I was waiting for speakers because we're going to put speakers into the ceiling again. And so I was waiting on all of the audio components to get here so I could then plug it in and figure out what speakers to what wire, and then connect it up to the home theater setup, then connect the Xbox. But I got tired of waiting, so I just hooked up the Xbox to the home theater system, which means I can't play with sound other than if I play with headphones. So not the end of the world, but it's at least hooked up. Because I don't know when I'm going to get up to do the ceiling stuff. I just keep looking up. Our ceilings are 10-foot high ceilings now, so I'm just like, oh fuck.
Definitely gonna need a bigger ladder.
Yeah, pretty much bigger ladder, and it's going to be a slightly different speaker setup this time. I'm going to be mounting the center channel up as well, whereas before I had it just in our entertainment center because it was dead set in the middle of where the TV was.
Mhm.
This time, the entertainment center, we don't have one centered up with the TV. We have 2 spots off to the left and the right that are going to get built-ins created, but I'm not going to put the center speaker there. There's a fireplace where the center speaker would normally go, so I'm going to go up, and I'll have a directional tweeter so I can put that towards where we sit, and, cross fingers, it all works. But yeah.
Let's hope.
So that literally is what I've been playing. I've been playing Moving. That's what I've been playing.
Yeah, that indie game on Xbox Game Pass called Unpacking. You've been
Maybe
playing
I have
that?
to play that. That'll give you some inspiration.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Mark, you have quite the laundry list of games here.
Yeah, I just picked out sort of like some of the highlights I've done recently. I'm not going to cover a full year's worth of gaming because we'll be here for a long time.
We appreciate you.
No one wants that. Yeah. So my first one is I heard Pete Chin talk about God of War Ragnarok when he was on the show recently.
Yes.
And that got me thinking, I haven't finished that. And then they announced the Valhalla DLC. And they always say it's best to finish a game before you play that. So I thought I need to get back into it. So I went flatline straight into it and just completed it, finished it, got it all done. Boy, what a good game that is. Such a good game. The story is amazing. The voice acting is top-notch, visuals and audio. There's a really good plot twist. Like at one time, me and Pete were at the same point, and I thought he was keeping up to me, and I went, "Oh, what about his plot twist?" And luckily, I didn't say anything, and he went, "Don't spoil it, don't spoil it." So, because I've got ahead of him, so I'm hoping he's got past that now, because it was really good. It was a case where when you're watching the movie and you go, it was one of them moments in the game. It's really good. So yeah, if you've got a PlayStation 5, or I don't know if it's on PC yet. I know the first God of War is. Right. It is a must-play. This game is so good.
So, were you talking about when Kratos comes out of the closet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
Sorry,
he's wearing a dress.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's going for gender reassignment surgery.
Oh God. Could you imagine?
So yeah, completed
I am
that.
her.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've not tried the Valhalla DLC yet. Excuse me, I've still got this cough. So yeah, that's still to do. But yeah, what a game.
Okay.
Next up, I've started and completed Assassin's Creed Mirage.
All right.
I was fortunate enough for James to buy this on PlayStation, and I game share with James. So I got this as a freebie, and they've gone not fully back to the first Assassin's Creed, like the first Assassin's Creed games. So the first one, the second, and Brotherhood and everything. They've got an old school feel to them again, but they still maintain some RPG elements from Odyssey, and the other ones I can't remember what they're called now.
Valhalla.
Yeah, but there's one before Odyssey.
Odyssey, Valhalla. There was
Origins.
Origins.
Yeah. So they went the more RPG route, and they ended up being massive games, and that used to do my head in because I had it with Wildlands, another Ubisoft title, where the game was just too long. It was like 80 odd hours, and then once you finish a game, you don't get any credits, and there's still like a million fucking icons on the map, a bit like The Witcher game. But yeah, this time they've gone back to the old school roots with some new school elements, and it works really well. The combat's gone back to more a bit of a stealthy feel to it, but you can go in open combat if you want. But the stealth really, really works well. All the prompts and everything. The story is half decent, but I must admit I did skip a lot of it because it was okay. It wasn't mind blowing. Not in your God of War sort of like scenarios. But yeah, the combat was really good. The environment was back to where similar to the first Assassin's Creed, where you've got like I think it's set in like a Baghdad area. So it's them sort of like mosque type buildings and the domes and everything. So it wasn't too high buildings to scale, but it was high enough to get some range and verticality. So yeah, very good, really good. About 26 hours to complete, I think, which is about right for me. So I was very happy with the length of the game. You get proper credits, and then you can go back in and mop up any side missions if you want. So yeah, they've done a massive improvement of Ubisoft. So very happy with that.
And I think that 20 to 25 range, or maybe 20 to 30 range, depending on how you want to look at it. I think that's the good range for single player games.
Right. Yeah. There are exceptions like The Witcher and Starfield and that, where an 80-hour game does work. Because those are the sort of games where you really don't want them to end that much.
Did it?
But
I'm just saying, I would have been much happier if the Witcher storyline, the main storyline, just to get through it, was more condensed to like 25 hours. And then you have all your side mission stuff that's not important to it, but you could do it. So,
right.
And I feel like
if
the
you
Witcher,
like me, if you like me, if you finish the main story, I tend to move on to another game, and I never go back to him. I never finish.
Yeah, that's the problem with Diablo.
It's okay
because I finished the main story, and then there was all the side stuff to do, and now I just don't know if I want to go back and do all that.
Shit, that's another. Yeah, I haven't even put that down. Diablo 4. Yeah, played the shit out of that when that first came out. But yeah, a lot of people have quickly gone off that, haven't they?
Yeah. Well,
there's a lot of backlash. Yeah.
I don't even call it backlash. I just think it's a situation of there's so many games out there to play.
Right.
I think
I still go back to it now and again.
Yeah, you go back to it, and that's a game. Honestly, Diablo is a game you can just kind of pick up whenever.
Yeah,
right.
So.
Yeah, this current seasonal one, the vampire one, I prefer that to the previous one. So yeah, it's quite good.
Okay.
So I've got 3 characters now. I'm running the rogue now. So that's quite good. Yeah, I prefer the rogue to the sorcerer, but my original character, the necromancer, that's still my favorite. But yeah, I bought. Well, actually, I went halves with James, and we bought Spider-Man 2. Because the first Spider-Man game and the Miles Morales game, both superb. So yeah, I bought that. I've not got far into it. I've just not had time. I've got about 5 hours into it, and it is not disappointing. It is really good story. You play as both characters this time, so you've got both Peter Parker and Miles Morales in the game. There's a multitude of enemies. The main antagonist is Kraven the Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
So not from the movie what's coming out soon. It's completely different to that. But yeah, so yeah, Kraven the Hunter's coming over, and he's wanting a decent challenger to fight. So he's kidnapping all these villains out of the Supermax prisons, and you're trying to stop all that. The animations are superb. The acting, the graphics are just top notch. The only thing is, there's a lot of combos to remember, and I had this problem with the first game. But now you've got 2 characters, and each one's got their own unique combos.
Right.
So I'm just doing the basic moves, and if I remember to do a combo, I'll remember. But it's my old brain. I just can't keep up with it now. Too many combos. That's my only criticism of Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I've just this past week or so since the new PC been playing a lot of Hunt Showdown. Been getting back on with Jay and the Seal guys, Fraser, Neil, and Matt and Mark. So yeah, on Gary. I've been playing a lot with Gary. Good old Gary. I've been doing for ages. Yeah. But yeah, Hunt Showdown. It's getting old now. Is that title? It's quite an old game now, but they keep on supporting it. They keep doing events. The developers, and it's just such a good game. I like it because it's not fast paced. You can have a lot of patience, take your time. There's no immediate rush. There are some frantic gunfights. Don't get me wrong. There is a bit of action when you need to. Right. And then there's a PvE element where there's like AI zombies and monsters and stuff. So there's a lot to take in. It's a very audio-based game. So everything you do creates a sound. So there'll be like crows on fences, and there'll be horses laying down. If you go near them, they'll make a noise. The birds will fly away, make a noise, and that will alert players on the map that you're in that direction. So there's a lot of audio cues, and you have to be very careful. But yeah, it's so much fun. And the objective is to kill some bosses what are on the map. Sometimes there's 1, sometimes there's 2. You kill the boss, you banish it, and then it drops 2 bounty tokens. And you can have a team up from solo, duos, or you can have up to a team of 3, and you collect these bounties, and then you extract. You have to go to these certain extraction points and get out of there. But once you've got the bounty,
it's truly one of the first extraction shooters we saw. If you think about it, because I mean that's become like the new rage, just like the extraction shooters. But this has been going on for a while.
People think the Division, people think Division was, but I think this came out 2017. So I remember when it first came out on Xbox, I tried it and I liked it, but no one else was getting it. And back then you had a free trial, didn't you?
Well, I think it was in early preview or something like that. If I
That's
remember
right.
correctly.
Yeah.
And then it came, and then they took it out of early preview, and then it was kind of like, well, do we buy it? Do we not buy it? I don't know. And so
it was on sale over Christmas. I don't know if it still is. That's a PC version anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really good. And once you've got the bounties on the map, people can see these little lightning strikes. So it's not accurate location, but it gives you an indication where you are. And if you use it, you've got what's called dark sight. So you can see clues and stuff. So when they use dark sight, they can see the lightning, and they've got an idea what direction you're in, and they'll come hunt you down, nick your bounty, and get out there. So yes, it can be very tactical. You might like the tactical side, Greg.
I mean, I've played it a little bit. I have played a little bit. I do have it on PC.
Got it on PC. Yeah. You'll have to join us.
But
Snookens has picked it up. I've not played with him yet. But yeah, Snookens has picked it up.
All right.
So we'll have to get me, you, Snookens. That'll be good.
Oh,
so yeah, that's about it for me.
All right. Cool. Well, I guess Kim.
Yes.
It was.
Alrighty. I got a little bit of a list here, but I'll some of it I've already talked about.
I do see that there's a list here.
There, damn Steam Deck, I tell you. Space Marines, you all know we're talking about. I'm still playing Thomas Was Alone. And does that game actually ever end? I don't know if there's
those little blocks?
Yeah, that's the little block. Does that thing ever end, or does it, does it just keep generating levels? Because I'm like a level something, I don't know, 10 or something, and we're still going. So I don't know how many levels there's supposed to be. I mean, I like the game, don't get me wrong, but I'm just curious as if there's an endpoint, or if I'm just going to be constantly jumping over various objects with different little blocks. Because, they've got big blocks, little blocks, kitty blocks, Anyway. But yeah, I'm still on with those two because of the Steam Deck. Thank you. I did buy a tiny sticker tail, I think from the Steam sale, or maybe it was right before the Steam sale. And what it is it's one of those little cozy, cute games, whatever. It's good fun for me anyway. When you're trying to just kill some time. You're a little donkey. You're going back, I assume, to your hometown or whatever to talk to your dad or whatever. And you have your little sticker book, and you can pull various things from the environment and put them in the sticker book. And then as you move around to different places, you can pull these stickers out that you pulled from other places and use them. Like there's a bridge sticker, so you can use that to cross to another part of the map or whatever. And it's like I said, it's just a cute little cozy game. And I hate those words together, but that's what it is. It's a little cozy game, I guess, that, you can pick up and play and put back down.
Okay.
And I guess another one of those would be 10 Hearts, which is on Game Pass, which is where I'm playing it from. I've been in a lot of these lately. I don't know. Maybe it's the mood I'm in. I don't know. But I'm assuming there's a story to this, but I'm playing it pretty much with the volume off, so I don't know what the story is. But basically, you have this little box of 10 soldiers, and they give you like an obstacle course. You have to navigate them to get them back to their little, I guess it's a little home, their little home, I guess is what you want to call it. And it's been kind of fun because you can make them to where like they could jump off the desk and into the trash can, and apparently there's an achievement for that. Or, you have to get them around books, and they can jump off the drum and then jump over to the next thing or whatever. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about this one yet. I don't know. I've probably played it for a couple 3 hours, and it seems fine, but I'm also kind of bored with it. So, but it's on Game Pass and it's free. Okay. So, try it out and see. Right. You remember a Castle Full of Cats? Well, now I'm playing A Building Full of Cats, which is basically the same thing as a Castle Full of Cats was. You hit a little hidden object game where you find the cats. And eventually it's kind of got a little story to it, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. So anyway, if you're into those hidden object games,
it's cats.
Yeah, it's cats. That's pretty much all I need. It's like I said, I bought Stray for like the third time, so whatever. So I've been playing that. Like I said, I don't know, it's $3. If you're into hidden object games, there you go.
Cats, if you're into cats.
Right. You're into cats. And last but certainly not least, Tony, of course, has been here because of Christmas vacation. So what do we usually play? Party Animals. And Robin was kind enough to give me a code to get me another little skin for the little Nemo dog, the little mascot for Party Animals. So I had to try that. And, it's Party Animals. They've got some new maps. I think one's a conveyor belt, and then there's a couple others I don't know that I've played yet. But it's Party Animals. Me and Tony enjoy it. It's funny because he gets frustrated when something happens and like he falls off and dies and we lose or whatever. So here lately he was getting kind of frustrated with it, and I have to keep telling him it's just a game. It'll be fine. We'll get the next one. You're right.
Yeah.
But it's funny because he gets all worked out and he's worked up over it and he's just like, we should have had that one. That guy was cheating or, whatever. And
I like it. That guy was cheating. Oh, all right. Tony's full on it.
Oh yeah. He's all into it. And it's funny because then I'm sitting here and I'll do something stupid and fall off into the water and you're not supposed to freeze. Well, then I'll freeze. And he's like, are you down already? Yes, I am. So Party Animals also on Game Pass.
Okay.
If you haven't played it, I suggest that you do. It's fun. Like I said, I've been playing it with Tony. He likes it, even though he does tend to take it a little far sometimes. But
all right,
you'd be proud of me, Kim. On Fortnite, I play Fortnite quite a bit with my grandkids.
Right.
The last
build no build, Mark. Build no build.
No build. Oh, right. No build. I can't do build.
Right.
I'm getting into now the no build. I quite like it. We get quite a few wins. Like my 10-year, well, he's 11 now. He was 11 Christmas Eve. But yeah, right. Riley is just so good. He's for his age and that, it's unbelievable. Way better than me.
Oh, I know.
But
Tony's
yeah,
the same way.
Yeah, the last battle pass, I unlocked a woman with a cat outfit called Renegade. I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah, so I've got that outfit now. Yeah,
lady.
Yeah, a pussy outfit. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, he's been kind of irritated with Fortnite here lately.
I've got
every time he goes to sign in, he gets an error. So I've got to figure that out.
Oh no, I actually bought a skin. I bought the John Wick. It was on discounted. Did you see it? Yeah, nice. I bought the John Wick. It's cool. It's really.
I was tempted to buy the snake skin for Metal Gear Solid. It's on there, and if Geralt ever comes back, I'm gonna buy that one too. So. Yeah.
You guys are suckers.
I know.
But this will tie well. This will tie well into our first news story.
We were playing PUBG every Friday night, and then you turn around and says, "Let's do some different games." And we played Modern Warfare one week, and then the week after we were going to do Fortnite. We haven't played since.
Right?
We need to get Friday nights back on track.
We do need to get Friday nights back on track. I totally agree. Yeah. Good evening, Lord. Happy New Year's Eve.
Right.
All right. I suppose we can transition to a little bit of news unless anybody has anything else they want to talk about.
No, I'm good. We have news? I didn't think we had any news.
We do. In fact, remember how I was talking about we're going to do something a little different? We're not. We're going to talk about news.
Oh, all right.
Here is the fucking news.
All right. So a little bit of news. I went through. I was like, let me just go check and see. I really didn't think there was going to be a lot, but kind of looking back this past week, there's some stuff to talk about. So first, this kind of ties in with this whole buying of stuff that we just were talking about. Tencent and NetEase lose $80 billion in value as China plans to limit game spending. Also, they're going to limit game spending for Mark and Kim. Under draft rules published by China's National Press and Publication Administrations, Reuters reports that the online gaming operators will be prohibited from awarding players for logging in every day or if they spend on a game for the first time or consecutively. They will also require to limit how much players can deposit in their game digital wallets. The new rules could still be modified and won't come into effect before next year, but their publication has spooked shareholders in China's two leading games companies, and shares in Tencent, which is the world's biggest game company, fell as much as 16% at one point, and NetEase dropped as much as 25% at one point. So those are some big hits. And this was a quote from was it Morningstar analyst Ivan Su, who said the removal of those incentives is likely to reduce daily active users and in-app revenue and could eventually force publishers to fundamentally overhaul their game design and monetization strategies. So this is interesting because on the surface, when I saw China put plans to put limits on things, I'm like, oh God, here we go. China's going to really put their foot down on something that they shouldn't be. But as I read these things, I kind of don't hate what China's saying. Any thoughts from the two of you in terms of kind of possible impact also, I think, outside of China?
Right.
Well, unrelated to that particular thing with China, Microsoft are at it, aren't they? Microsoft are doing it with the reward stuff. Mm-hmm. Have you seen how much they've reduced the points you get for your rewards?
Well, I wondered about that.
Yeah, it's hard to get 12,000 points a month now to get your free Game Pass.
Right.
Well, I think
on the
that's-
website, on the website, everything's now 1 point instead of 10. On the Xbox dashboard, there's hardly anything to click on to get points.
Right.
Yeah. And
Well, I know, because I noticed when you search for like the news stories, whatever, they used to give you 5 points for each news story. Because I used to go right along and click all the little news stories at the bottom and get my points. Can't do that now. Because you might click on one and there's no points. And then the next one you might click on, there's 15 points. And then you go 3 or 4 more ahead, no points. And then you might get another 5 points. So I wondered if that was just me or if that was them cutting back on them.
Big time,
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm 300 points short of 12,000 to get another month.
Yeah.
But it's taking me like nearly 3 months to get that. It's crazy.
Right.
So I actually got charged for the first time in like, 3 years for my Game Pass. Because we're stacking it.
Right.
And then I kept buying. I bought like a 3-month stack from CD Keys, but
Right.
totally forgot. And I got a notification on my phone from my bank. You've been charged $12.99 from Microsoft because obviously it's gone up. It was $10.99 at one point, wasn't it?
Right.
$12.99 now, but I managed to get a free month from Jenny. Got a pack of Doritos and was a free month on there.
So
I'm
Doritos
okay now
save
till
the day.
February.
Who says Doritos are bad? Come on.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm okay till February now.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting though. Just to kind of getting back on track with the news story. This kind of limitation definitely impacts companies that again they're doing these free to play model type games that really they are out there sharking the whales, if you will, the people that are going to log in and do these little things to kind of gain their reputation or gain points in game. I'm going to be really curious to see how this impacts both those companies, Tencent in particular. Does this really create an actual fundamental shift in the industry? And importantly, does this spread outside of China into?
I was just gonna say, does this only affect China's population, or is it going to be global?
This is currently for Chinese, basically Chinese players. So, again, curious to see if this then spreads out, and I think that's actually probably why there's also this additional concern from investors, because they're looking at the bigger picture of this is something that potentially could be requested by other regulators out there. I'm kind of surprised in some respects, just looking at what these things are. It hasn't been already.
Right. Yeah, because even in mobile gaming, it's bad. I've seen people spend thousands and thousands of dollars just so they could be the top dude. And it's like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't compute. No. So.
Well, speaking of things that don't compute, the GTA 6 hacker, I guess his name is, I'm going to say this, butcher this, Arian Kurtaj. I'm going with that. Kurtaj.
Yep.
Anyway, he suffers from acute autism. So this is an interesting situation where, you have somebody that has a severe disability, but he was convicted as being a member of the international hacking group Lapsus, which carried out the attacks on the tech companies, including Uber, Nvidia, as well as Rockstar, and the GTA 6 hack. So, along with being a 17-year-old male who can't be identified, he was found guilty of serious computer misuse, blackmail, and fraud following a 7-week criminal trial. Judge Patricia Lees said Kurtaj remained fixated with hacking and proposed a high risk of serious harm to the public through skill in gaining unfettered access to computers. And apparently, while he was under house arrest, he also started hacking into using like the phone they gave him, was able to start hacking into another company while he was under house arrest. So
I struggle to even use my phone, let alone fucking hack it.
Yeah, and he used like a Fire Stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, that was what it was. It was a Fire Stick. Yes.
Yeah.
So Kurtaj will stay at a secure hospital facility until such time that a mental health tribunal decides he no longer poses a danger to others. So this is kind of crazy because the other people sentenced within this, and I think they were given roughly a year's sentence, and some had kind of some suspended probation within that. But I mean, he's basically under house arrest until he's deemed not a threat. And the challenge here being severely autistic, I wonder how easy that's going to be.
Right.
Yeah, I feel for the person in some respects, although obviously what he did hurt companies.
Right.
I also kind of feel for the individual when you see a situation like that where he just fundamentally doesn't know better.
Right.
So this is going to be one to kind of watch for down the road. I don't know that there's an easy fix to this, and maybe this is the best case scenario, being in a secure hospital facility versus an actual jail sentence. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, because I think if he was actually to go to jail, yeah, the poor kid wouldn't last. They'd have to keep him by himself and all that, and
Yeah.
that's no good either. So
No.
And just saying, well, you can't be on a computer for the rest of your life, it's not going to work either, because we can use a Fire Stick to do the same thing. I mean, you'd have to pretty much take just about everything but a pen and paper away from him, because he's just that smart, I guess. So I wouldn't know
that's
how to
that
do
weird.
it.
That's that weird
So-
thing where he's just incredibly smart, but he also has this fundamental,
Right.
broken, mental, pathways for,
Right.
the autism, affects him.
His
And
moral
again-
compass isn't pointing the right way.
Well, yeah,
Right.
and I think it's really the right from wrong is what's probably broken
Yeah.
within him. Again,
Right.
a little bit of speculation on our part. We don't, they say severe autism. You don't know how that really manifests, but I have to think that because he's so fixated, as they kind of commented on hacking, like that's his passion.
Right.
So then, that's just obviously problematic for the rest of the world.
Right.
All right. To other news, Jill Braff. Who is this, you asked? Jill Braff? Well, she has been appointed as head of Bethesda ZeniMax Studios. So she is formerly a consumer research manager at Nintendo and director of marketing at Sega. Braff also currently serves as general manager of integrations and casual games at Xbox Game Studios. Microsoft's president of game content and studios, Matt Booty, best name in gaming,
Right.
announced Braff's new role in an email to employees on Wednesday via The Verge. Jill has a wealth of experience in the game and entertainment, in games and entertainment, with previous roles at Nintendo, Sega, Glue Mobile, Home Shopping Network, and Warner Brothers, building the online marketing business for the Ellen DeGeneres Show. So she was our leader for the integration work when ZeniMax Bethesda joined Xbox, and through that work, she has come to know many of their teams and leaders as well. So I think it kind of made sense that she's probably a good fit for this. Again, I don't know. We take too much out of this, other than this is kind of the replacement for Pete Hines as he steps down.
I was just going to say, didn't Pete Hines say he's leaving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's official. Bobby Kotick, no more. Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick officially left the company on December 29th. That was confirmed. Microsoft, who completed its acquisition of the publisher in October, shared the news via an internal memo on Wednesday to employees. I didn't bother pulling the memo. It was a pretty lengthy one, but I mean, hey, the witch is dead. Everybody can run around and be
Good
happy
riddance.
now. Yeah. Not the most beloved character in gaming for sure.
No.
But look, he took Activision to heights they never saw before. So it's going to be interesting to see this transition now, how Microsoft handles Activision Blizzard. And my understanding is they're actually going to kind of split them all up. So it'll be Activision, Blizzard, and King will all run kind of separate from one another. And that might be the best case scenario right there.
Yeah.
All right. Sony has claimed the PS5 hit 50 million sales just 1 week slower than the PS4 did. So that's a pretty impressive number. Sony Interactive Entertainment.
It is to save the shortages he had when they first launched.
Yeah, exactly. They get into that. They claim the PS5 sales have surpassed 50 million units worldwide. The console reached the sales milestone on December 9th, 2023, a little over 3 years after it launched in November 2020. PS4 reportedly hit the 50 million mark after 160 weeks, which is 1 week faster than the PS5 did, although that system did not face the COVID supply issues. So I think the PS5 is doing just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and now for some not so great news. So Insomniac suffered a massive hack that happened, just over a week ago. So it was a ransomware group that basically was. It was interesting. So I'm going to read through this story and then we'll circle back on it. So the Insomniac hacker released more than 1.3 million stolen files, including unannounced games info. A ransomware group that claimed to have hacked PlayStation's Insomniac Games has now released a large number of stolen files. Last week, the ransomware group Reseda, I'll just say Reseda, threatened to release sensitive data about the company, its employees, and upcoming games if it wasn't paid for the data. It then published data online which appeared to corroborate its claim that it had successfully hacked the Sony-owned studio, including an annotated screenshot from Insomniac's upcoming Wolverine game. According to the Cyber Daily, Reseda has followed through with its threats and posted more than 1.3 million files totaling 1.6 terabytes to its darknet site. Around 98% of the stolen data has allegedly been released, with Reseda stating that not sold data was uploaded, implying that the remaining 2% may have been sold to someone. Social media users have already started downloading and sifting through the files like vultures, and it appears to include an unprecedented amount of information and assets from Insomniac's future projects, including the upcoming Wolverine game, a publishing agreement with Marvel that promises future games, and internal HR documents, budgets, and more. The stolen documents also include information on unannounced games stretching as far ahead as 10 years. So literally the entire roadmap for Insomniac, sensitive data, employee information. I mean, this is a massive, massive leak. It's unfortunate. And you know, it's something you have to talk about. We don't have to talk about the nitty gritty. We don't have to talk certainly about the sensitive material. I know some news outlets, it was interesting. You know, I think it was IGN were kind of commenting, they were not going to cover this story. They didn't, you know, because they didn't want to glorify leaks of stolen information.
I was going to say, it's not just a leak, is it? It's theft, isn't it? They've stolen
it is theft. You know, but the interesting thing is when other leaks like this have happened, they get covered. You know, we talk about the leaked gaming information. And so it's interesting. And I think because Insomniac is such a beloved studio right now that, you know, they can't do anything wrong in the media's eyes, that in some respects, I think they're kind of getting a pass in some companies saying they're not going to cover why this happened or how it happened or just even cover it at all. You know, kind of like they don't want to glorify the act, right? But on the flip side, they've glorified all other leaks and acts that have happened all the way up. I mean, GTA 6, you know, that leak happened. That was stolen data, and God knows they were all over it. They were analyzing the video, being like, you know, look what this implies. Look what this implies. So what I would say to at least the media outlets is let's be even-handed when it comes to this stuff. We can cover it.
Double standards going on there, won't there?
Yeah, we can cover the information and we can cover it in a professional way where we don't have to talk about the sensitive data. We don't have to reveal anything that might be, you know, could injure somebody's future. But on the flip side of it, I mean, if we're going to talk about, you know, the images from Wolverine and you know what that looked like, I mean, hey, it looks like an Insomniac game to me. I don't think it really gave away anything. I'd be curious to know kind of more that 10-year footprint, what that looks like. Also, the Marvel agreement, that's kind of interesting. You know, so we certainly can, you know, we know for sure Insomniac is now becoming a Marvel studio. They are, you know, absolutely cranking out Marvel games like Pez Candy.
Right.
So I don't know if you guys have anything on this you wanted to allude into or add. It's unfortunate. I know.
Sometimes you hear of hackers who will hack a company, not just particularly a games company, but a company. And then they'll tell this company that they've been able to hack them, and then they'll help them with their security. But these ones who demand money for your own property back, your own intellectual property back, I don't like that. It makes me sick. So,
No, I mean they're assholes, and let's be clear. This Reseda group, it's terrible what they've done, and it was interesting. They only asked for I think $2 billion, sorry, 2 million, not 2 billion, 2 million in Bitcoin, and I think they put it at a low number, hoping that Sony would just pay, because there is that kind of thing of like, when you get to such a low number that you kind of weigh the pros and cons, and you're like, we might as well just pay this and get the data back, and we're done. Sony clearly did not, and I don't blame them.
But an organization like that, how can you trust them if you do pay them?
Exactly.
Are they going to release the data back to you? Are they going to keep it? We're still going to spread it?
Well, you do have to think of it this way too. For an organization like this to offer that, say, we'll give you back your data for $2 million. You kind of, that honor amongst thieves kind of comes to mind, where if they get a reputation of they just take the money and they don't give you anything back,
no other company's going to
nobody's going to trust them. So
true,
in some respects, they do have to become almost like a I don't want to say honorable business, but I mean a business that carries through with their word of
keep the word.
So, again, maybe Sony looked at what was stolen and thought, what, we can weather this storm. It's okay. We don't want to reward these thieves.
Right.
Well, knowing Sony, they're probably thinking, we'll shut Sony in a couple of years. We're shutting every other fucking studio we've bought.
But, I do feel bad for the employees. And that's probably the hardest part is, some of that data. And I'm, very curious if that was part of the data that did get sold. But, you had like there was one employee, he had just left the company. He wasn't even part of Insomniac anymore. And his passport was released.
Oh, God.
So, just kind of crazy stuff like that. You hate to see it. I wish Insomniac all the best in that, hopefully this doesn't impact anything on their end, that they're able to continue forward and make great games. Because that's what we want from them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, all right. Well, that was the news. That's pretty much everything.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think we have any new releases, Kim. Is that correct?
Nope. There was none.
So I think we can safely say we'll call it a show. A little over an hour. It's end of year, beginning of a new year. This is, kind of what happens. I think maybe next week we try and circle back and give some thought into reflecting back on 2023, the games that we really liked.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple honorable mentions for ones we didn't like.
Gotcha.
And then we'll do the fun stuff, the prediction stuff. And we'll review that too, because we have all that. We've documented. We know what you've said.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's do some shout outs. Let's wrap things up. Again, if you're listening to this, thank you very much. And give us likes, give us subscriptions, subscribe up, like us on the YouTube, on Twitch. Catch the audio version again, and you can like us on those different audio platforms as well. I think we're pretty much on anything under the sun. So, Mark, I'll start with you. Shout outs.
I want a big shout out to Kim because she bought me Dave the Diver in the Steam sales. It's on my wish list because some of the Seals guys have been playing with it and said it's really good. So it's a bit of like a 16-bit graphic thing, but it's got quite a lot of depth to the game. So yeah, there's this guy who goes fishing and then sells it in a sushi bar. So there's a lot of like that overcooked aspect to it as well as the fishing part. So thank you very much, Kim.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys for having me back. It's been
about
a year. It's been about a year now. So yeah, glad to be back. And
it's good to have you back.
Get rid of me that easy again.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, I caught that whole Dave the Diver and the depth thing. I caught that.
No, I didn't hear it. I missed that. So yeah, so thank you very much. Over to Kim.
Alrighty. Shout out to Boomer and Lord for stopping by the chat today. Also shout out to Boomer. I know you've been trying to get me to get on the Xbox so you can try out the X and all that, and I've kind of been leaving you hanging because, well, I don't know why. I think
she
it's
likes
just
playing with her dick.
Boomer. She's on a Steam Deck.
The Steam Deck.
I'm playing with my Steam Deck.
She says, fuck all you Xbox fucking peasants.
Right. Some of it, and I don't know. I've had kids because, of course, they're on vacation. I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired, bored. I don't know what I am, but I will be back. I promise. It's not you. It's me.
Oh,
It's funny
God.
about
Kiss
too.
of death, Boomer. So
It's
sorry,
not
man.
you,
I'm
it's
so
me.
sorry.
Oh, so anyway, other than that, shout out to you guys, and here's to another year. Let's keep doing this shit because we're not too bad at it. So
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, you likely are catching this after the new year has started. So Happy New Year to you. Mark, welcome back. Glad to have you
Thank you.
back. Thank you for coming on.
Indeed.
Robin, fuck off. You bastard. Still love you, though. Kim.
No mention of racing tonight, has there?
No, he's not. He's out with the in-laws doing, being sober,
doing the
which is,
son-in-law thing.
yeah. I hope he had to just gut it out. No alcohol, just being sober and miserable. Kim, shout out to you. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
I cannot wait to see the plethora of new calendars we get to look at next week.
I know. I'm still waiting for the other one to come in, but yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll have the calendar reveal soon enough.
Indeed.
Yeah. So on that note, I want to shout out my wife. She is amazing. And she was just an angel through all of the stuff with my dad. She went above and beyond, and so for that I'm forever thankful. I definitely have batted above. Basically, I'm batting way above my average on when it comes to her. And yeah, shout out to my dad. You will be missed. You already are missed. But I still love you, and I will see you at some point someday. So on that note, thank you everybody for listening. Come back next week. We'll be back in some fashion or another, maybe with Robin, maybe without. Likely with Mark, likely with Kim, myself included. Oh, maybe not myself. That's actually up for debate, but that's a story for a different day. All right. On that note, see everybody. Have a great rest of your week and a great next year.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.